Hey, I just want to make a real short video real quick. I have a ficus plant that I have propagated from several times by rooting the cuttings in water. And if you saw that last video, you know that we are about ready to move because I'd rather move them in a pot with soil as opposed to the jar that they're in. So it looks like we've got some really good roots in there. I'm going to mix up just a little bit of some soil, inorganic matter in with it, and then we'll just put it in a pot. So stay tuned, we'll get set up and get these things potted in. So here's a ficus that I took this one actually from a root cutting many years ago, but the same process. I cut it off and cleaned the base of it off and just put it in some water, and then it took several weeks and then new root systems had formed off the base of that. And then from there I potted it. So the product, the soil that's in here is some haydite and some turfus, and like some crushed granite or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I put in here, but this pot's been in here for a couple years now since it's rooting. And then here are the plants or the stems that I rooted off of that one. I cut this. Now I make sure when I do this, I do it when the plant is actively growing. And so here are the roots. You can see that there's the main roots coming off there, and then they're starting to get some more hair-like roots off the tips of those. So we're going to be real gentle with these and get them potted up and then get them ready. So here's what I'm going to use today, and I'm only using this soil mix right now just to root this plant. It's just something I've been using that's been working. This is just a Miracle-Gro potting mix. So I'll just throw some in there. And then here I have some lava and some pumice. And I'm just mixing that. I'm just kind of mixing it in there to kind of give it some better drainage. Okay, so again, this is just a potting mix, and then I added the volcanic rock and the pumice in there. And again, that's just to drain because I want to make sure that this soil is always draining well. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is choose this pot. The ficus will live inside over the winter time, and they'll be in a place that will be visible in the house. So I chose this pot because I can wipe it down and clean it up, and then it would be somewhat attractive inside the house as opposed to just using a generic nursery can that I have usually grow my outdoor plants in. So the next thing I want to do is take a piece of drainage screen cover, flatten it out, and I'm going to lay it in the bottom. And then just like potting up regular bonsai plants, I still put like an air layer into the bottom of it. So again, I'm going to go back to my extra pumice and lava rock, and I'm just going to put a little bit into the bottom of this container to act as an air layer. So I'll just dump some in there. And then just because I've got that one single hole in the bottom, I didn't worry about tying that in. And so now I'm going to add this mixture of this potting soil that has pumice and lava rock in it. And then I'm going to pack that down a little bit. And then I'm going to pick this plant. Now I'm going to leave this woody stem on it right there to help act as an anchor. But I'm going to set this in there. And then I'm going to spread these roots out. Evenly around the pot. Can you see that? So there it is. It's in the pot. The root system has been spread out, and now we're going to move over to the water hose, and we're going to soak this really well because this potting mix is really dry right now, and I want to make sure it's really well hydrated while it's outside and then before we go back inside. And so you can see the air bubbles coming up through that. We're going to keep watering it until those air bubbles are have stopped surfacing. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm going to let it drain really well, and then I'm going to gently take it inside the house and put it on a saucer so that I don't get water all over everything. Let's do another one. Here's a pot. It's already got a drainage screen in the bottom of it. I forgot that I left that in there. On it. We'll work with this one. Same type of deal. Looks like we got quite a few roots. Maybe we can spread them out some. It looks like on this one though, all the roots are kind of coming off about the same direction. So the way we'll deal with that is we'll just spread them out the best we can and let them root and grow into the pot. And then at the next repot is when we'll work on them. We'll deal with. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do another one real quick. Drainage screen in the bottom. To help keep the plant upright, and then it'll go off to the watering table, and I will get set up to plant the rest. Okay, so there it is. There's several of my ficus cuttings that I have done and now have potted up and are soaking in the water. Like I mentioned, I'll bring them inside gently and they'll set in a location that I won't worry about them getting bumped or knocked around while they continue to root in. And then again, when we move in a couple weeks, these will be handled with great care to make sure that any progress that they have made rooting into the soil isn't compromised or undone by movement. So just to recap real quick, I took some cuttings off of a ficus when the ficus was actively growing. I put it in a jar of water. It took several weeks to produce the roots that you saw in the video. And then I made up a soil basically of just some potting soil and some lava rock and some pumice. The pumice and lava rock I added in there just to make sure that it drains well, and then I added the little air layer at the bottom. Keep some oxygen down there and also to help aid in drying. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe. I've been getting a couple more subscribers. I thank you for that. I've been getting more messages about the videos and I really appreciate that. Seems like the bald cypress right now are the more popular ones. If you want more of that, please let me know. It's about bald cypress seed collecting time again here in central Kansas. We'll get those collected and I'll take you through the whole process this spring as that gets started. So again, thanks for watching. Be safe. We'll catch you next time. Take care.